Big Cat's back again. Let's do it. The Swoosh Life Podcast. Season 3. Welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 59, coming at you. And we are back, just like Tiger is back. It is Hero World Championship week, and Tiger had his press conference this week. We'll get into it. We had to get back, though. Give you a little quick drop pod. But we are back, boys. Keith, you made it out of the snow, and Matt, you're not frozen solid. So I think good start for everybody on this episode. How are we doing, boys?
I'm good. Thank goodness for shelter and being out of the elements. So no garage setup today for everybody. I apologize. We've got the makeshift. We got the street shoes behind me.
I was hoping to get some garage, and you all bundled up with a winter hat on and coat, fleece, bubble vest. But I just left all that in upstate New York. We got a foot and a half of snow last night, overnight, out of nowhere. And we woke up this morning, which is a Tuesday morning, and we had to dig our way out because we were coming back to Connecticut today because the parents have to go back to work and the kids got to go back to school. So after the Thanksgiving break, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving, guys?
It was good. I mean, we dealt with some family stuff, but we're good now, or we're getting better, I should say. And had a birthday. I'm 36 now. I've played 2 rounds of golf. That's a lot. So I said it in my birthday post that I am this year is the start of moving day. So I better start doing something important with my life now that I'm after 36. So, but yeah, I figured we're doing good. We had Black Friday, we had Cyber Monday. We'll get into all that and some of our pickups. Do you guys want to do that right now? I think let's talk about it. Let's talk about some Cyber Monday.
I think you're the only one that picked up anything.
I might have. It happened. It works out well when you have your anniversary in October, your birthday in November, and Christmas in December. You kind of just get to stack some stuff up. So the wife purchased me those burgundy pants we had talked about a couple podcasts ago. So that was really nice. And then she was like, "What else do you want?" I was like, "Oh dear, let me tell you." So I picked up some of the Nike Calm slides. Have you guys seen these bad boys? These chunky mothers. My goodness, but they are super comfortable. I'm wearing them right now. And I think they add another 2 inches to my already 6'2" frame. So I'm pretty happy about that. I can finally be 6'4", like I always told in my profile a long time ago. So
you always got to add.
Yeah. And then I picked up a swoosh hat finally. I've been wanting and needing a fitted front swoosh white hat. So I picked up that. And then, man, how could you go wrong? If you did not have TW13s, how could you not get those black ones on Black Friday and Cyber Monday? $113 for $240 shoes. I mean, there's not much better than that. So, and I think my birthday 10% came out on the other stuff because I kind of ordered them separately. But I think it was compounding that I had 10% and then the Black Friday deal, which was pretty cool. So,
did you remember your Rakuten? Did you remember your Rakuten?
I did not. I didn't do Rakuten. I know Matt's big Rakuten. Get on Rakuten, guys, because it does help with Nike. And then I'm almost done. But for my daughter, she's still not walking yet, and to each their own. They're all good. But you know what? The Nike's going to help it out. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see that I picked up the Nike Swoosh 1, which are specifically made for toddlers and those starting to walk or learning to walk. They are a Flyknit upper with a webbed kind of toe splay bottom, so you can experience the ground. They're more grippy and everything like that. So I'm showing them on my screen right now as they are kind of pretty cool here. So I'm very excited to get her walking in these bad boys. And I just love the packaging that they came in. Little two setup, little swooshes, got the pink fur Collins. And then, look at this box. Look at that little guy. That's just perfect. Little opener. And then even on the back, my first milestone there on the back, name, birthday, first steps. I'm keeping this bad boy, just like we all would. So
Gotta keep the box.
So pretty excited about that. That was some good pickups for me. Kicked off on my birthday. All that stuff's getting delivered in 5 different delivery boxes this week, and I'm pretty happy that I just keep getting packages every day this week. So
you picked up and we get it, which I agree. $113 was it? For a shoe that
yeah,
still rocking your original T-dubs from a decade ago. So
right,
last at least another decade. So totally worth it. You get it the week that TW is back. And TW is back with some new equipment. Guys, we got to talk about it. What do you think about the new, unreleased, tailor-made driver that he's got in the bag? I think that's what everybody's talking about. It's the QI. Is it the key? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It doesn't have a red face, so I think he's all happy about it. I think that he was cool with the red face because it was his color, but that he just didn't like that much.
So we all know that's not why we all know that's why you guys tuned in. Sorry to mess with you. I am the worst. I will admit. But I was at work all day and social media starts blowing up and TW is back. We kind of have this hope in the back of our hearts, maybe he shows up in a TW13 or a retro shoe of his or something that he's really comfortable with. But he did show up in something new. And lots of videos out there, people pontificating, guessing what it is. Is it a Nike prototype? Is it a new other brand shoe? Could it be a mule? One thing I thought about was, hey, is this a mule where they took a competitor top and put a Nike bottom on it, or they took a Nike bottom and put a competitor top? Keith, you've had some thoughts about what prototypes look like when Nike does a prototype. Do these look like Nike prototypes to you, or do you think they're from another brand?
I think it's a mix. It's definitely a mix of Nike coming together with other brands. It kind of happens with Kohan. Kohan kind of did the same thing with the Nike Zoom in the bottom of their, the bottom of the footbed. I see bits and parts of Nike prototypes in this from previous shoes. I know we've talked off air and stuff. I don't know if we want to get right into it right now, but we might as well. But I've seen the Nike Precision, the Tour Precision, the Zoom Air Precision, and then also with the first round of Victory Tour shoes. There was an off-course shoe for the range and teaching, and also a cleated bottom one. But it also, that Tour Precision and the Victory Tour, the number one, the first one, had the same bottoms on them. It was made for Rory. It was a more structured shoe, with more solid bottom footbed shoe for him. The plated bottom as well. I'm trying to get at getting away from the free sole a little bit, which you can kind of see Tiger has trended away from that since the 15, and more of a solid bottom. Maybe trying to bring back the channel of the old bottom T-Dub SP 8s, 9s, 10s, those. But it's a mixture of a couple of different things. There's definitely Nike in it, design wise it looks like, but there's also that bottom traction looks a little, these newer pictures, these bottom tractions look a little off, a little different. But the upper looks like a traditional upper of a classic shoe. Many of that he's worn. The sole, the midsole and everything like that, like I said, kind of gives you a cushioning. It looks a little React, a little squishy for a React kind of thing. So it could be a newer React. It's there's no swoosh, there's no markings on it, so it's just up in the air.
And that's the thing. Kind of thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say there has been prototypes out there this is years ago that I've seen him with no swoosh on it. They've also done this before with the one ball, where they would kind of advertise, not even, I remember Tiger's hat saying the little letter N on the side when they used to do the product on the side of their hat kind of thing. They made it's a guessing game right now. We don't know. We want to know, but we want it to be good news with a swoosh on it. So, Matt, what do you think about it? Well, it's all been hit. It's all hit you quick today and everything.
It has. And I tried to take it in. And I'm going to go back to Gumby for his thoughts. But the reason I was kind of like back and forth is like, even in the world of like 4K and high definition and all this stuff, we can't always tell. Like we tried zooming in, stuff looks like other stuff. And we've known for a while that Rory and Tiger have been asking for a more traditional looking shoe. So if you do something that looks more traditional, yeah, it's going to look like everybody else's shoes. So yeah, it could look like a Cole Haan, or it could look like an FJ or a G4 from far away. So it still didn't sit right with me. It didn't look like something. If it was a prototype, I thought it was a mule. Maybe they took a competitor top or a bottom, that and that. Gumby, what do you think? Do you think this is a Nike prototype, a mule of some kind, or is this just a competitor shoe?
When I first saw it, I paid no attention to it because I just saw it and it wasn't the TW13 or wasn't something like that was like outstanding to me. So I just immediately thought it was his, I would say, current setup in a sense. And then other things come out and you start digging and going down the rabbit hole. I'm completely lost now on it. I said that we had some discussions with some of our partners with Blake and Nick and you guys all know them. And and we were like, it's kind of ugly. And I was like, I don't even care if it's ugly. As long as it keeps him in swoosh, I'm happy, and Keith won't die, which is always a good thing. So, I mean, it's one of those things where like, but now I don't know. Now, like seeing some of this stuff, I'm not sure that it is. And that's okay, I guess. The curious thing, so what happened to me today is I was trying to watch it and then I couldn't get to it, um, with being home with a sick little one, and so I was trying to follow up and I saw like highlights and they were talking about like December 31st and getting something done, and I was like, my eyes like lit up because I was like, then I had to like try and scour because I was like, what are we talking about here? Like, are we talking about like we got to get a deal done with Nike like before December 31st. There's options on the table, like all this stuff. Like, that's immediately where my mind went when I saw highlights of this press conference. And in the press conference, he normally wears his TW hat, and he wore a swoosh hat today, which is I find that just a little bit interesting. And maybe he doesn't. Maybe he switches it up. But he normally always wears swoosh on Saturday and Sunday only, and he wears TW on Thursday, Friday. So like in pressers, it's normally a TW. So definitely something to think about there. I'm a little off track. Also, that 31st stuff is PIF stuff. It's PGA Tour stuff, he was mostly asked about today in this press conference, which is kind of annoying. Like we need a fashion person just on scene at these press conferences just to ask the questions about shoes that people are wearing and stuff. Because like Jason Day wearing a different shoe, like what is that about? And then I saw a Squares commercial because I was watching Golf Channel. I was like, is that a Squares like for that Jason Day is wearing? Like that would be wild. It's not, but I was like, what the heck is happening? So I don't know. And people want to hype it up right now. There's a lot of talk on Instagram and Twitter about Nike being back and all that stuff. Until Nike shows us on NDC or if we were lucky enough to get a catalog ahead of time or anything like that, we don't have access to that. Then maybe, but that's not what we're seeing at this time.
Yeah, and from far away, the thing looks like, and Keith, man, great job. Nike Golf Air Zoom Precision, it looked like from far away. The Air Zoom Direct, it looked like far away. Everybody was like super excited because he's got the great TW polo on. He looks awesome. I love that polo. Golf Project said was getting Air Waverly vibes. Swoosh Guy 12 coming in saying silence is key. Nothing to say, just watch. Interesting. T. Sloan sent some pictures of some old TWs from 2002 and the SP8 saying just combine these and call it a day. Angelo Collins, and I want to come back to this a little bit. Angelo Collins said I don't love them. So I do want to ask a question about if they are Nikes, do we even want them? Golf Groove said, I don't care what the shoe looks like as long as it has that swoosh on it. So kind of going back to that sentiment that we've said, give him the classic shoe he wants. And who cares as long as it's a Nike. And then PC Skywalker checking in saying they aren't amazing, but he's back home with the swoosh. we assume maybe, probably hiding the tech and the support that he needs. Let me go back to what Angelo Collins said. All right, let's just, whether or not it's a Nike, does that shoe that you saw today with the zoom ups and the fuzzy things, does it look better than the TW20 that's been out for 3 years? Yes or no?
No. Your son says yes in the background. That's what I heard. But it's no for me. After having a TW20, and they got them late this year, but it's just, that's so much cleaner, like, to me. Even in black or white, it's just a cleaner option, which I just like.
Now, here's the next step on that. TW20, where would you rank TW20 in all the shoes that came out just this year? So Victory Tour 3, the Next Percent, you put the Jordan in there, right? Like, does the TW20 even stand up against, like, where does it rank in the current Nike lineup of shoes for you guys?
That's a tough one, but not at the top. I know that. It's not at the top. It's not over the Tour Premier. It's not over Next Percent. A couple of Jordans that came out, Masters editions that came out, that TW20, it was there for a reason, for a carryover. But it falls in the middle of the line. People are still grabbing it. People still want it. It's going to be interesting if I was just going to say, it's going to be interesting if that is a prototype, if it's going to be like an old school, like swoosh on the heel, the back heel kind of thing down by the foot bed. But if it is, but
yeah, our guy ZT also said they look like Hoka running shoes. Had to throw that out there.
Yeah. I think the TW20 question is interesting because I think looks wise, you're right, maybe doesn't stack up with a Jordan or with the Masters, all that stuff. But from like a function wise, like, and how they feel, like, I really like them, So, and they're obviously really great for some of the world's best players with Scotty and Minwoo, like, rocking up. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are rocking them daily still. So I think that'd be the interesting part, is like, if that were to go away, in a sense, what would Scotty Scheffler rock next? Like, I think that's a question for you guys. I'm intrigued on, is that what would Scotty Scheffler next rock? Because to me, the TW20 is just Scotty. Like, it is clean, it is simple, and that's just who Scotty is. He doesn't do anything flashy. I mean, his swing is wild as like ever, but like, he doesn't do anything like style wise, like Tony or something like that. So that matches him pretty nicely because it is a clean, simple silhouette. Whereas like a Jordan, like 6 is not. Even the Next Percents are not. The Jordan 1 is not. Yes, Rory's is a little bit, but it has some flavor to it in a sense. You know what I mean? We saw that with the all the majors style ones and the 2 different swooshes and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think you have to look at the next line of who's wearing that shoe now too, to see what we're doing with it.
Yeah. It's kind of tough to see. It's a good question about Scotty's shoe, if that like gets like discontinued, or they'll always make it for him if he stays in it. But he's been in a victory tour.
It's like Tiger's gloves. They still have Tiger's gloves.
Yeah,
the one you can't get anymore. That was my favorite glove, and he just has 1,000 of them.
Random on eBay. Go get them. Random if they're on there. But no, I agree with you. It'd be weird to see Scotty even like in a TW13. Yeah, it just doesn't. The structure. He probably wants that support as well, and everything. So
this is a really good question. And if they rework the Victory Tour, like, remember Victory Tour 2, the second year they redid the swoosh to kind of like that Cortez style. Do they go away from the big swoosh and make it like a more classic, smaller swoosh so it looks a little bit more classy? I don't know. Does everybody kind of spit into that? We know there's probably Next Percents have been, every 2 years, right? There's the Infinity Tour, and then this is the end. So we're just going to assume there's a new one, but that's always going to be Brooks's shoe. You haven't really seen. I've seen a lot of ladies players rock those. I can't see Scotty in one of those. That's a really good question. Like, where does that go? And I mean, it is wild to think about, but maybe we're kind of, man, I hate to say it, like without a Tiger signature shoe next year. If this goes on, like why would Nike put something out if he's not wearing it? I don't know, because we're on year 3, year 4 now, right? So we're talking about a 2-year cycle for the next percents. We're on a 4-year cycle now for T-Dubs.
Right.
I mean, I think it depends on contract situation too, right? Like if they give him lifetime or they give him another 10 or whatever. I mean, to be quite honest, if I'm Nike and I hear him say today that I can play, I mean, obviously they probably know this ahead of time, but that he's expecting to play in a tournament a month, like that is more than any of us could have ever imagined come April
Agreed.
last year, you know? So the fact that he's thinking that, the fact that he knows like there's no pain, like he still looks janky. Like it's just, but one leg is shorter than the other now. You gotta realize that. Like one leg is shorter than the other because it's literally not there, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
And so and I deal with that. I walk a little funny sometimes. Like as long as his hips stay like aligned, which he has the best physios in the world, that I'm sure that they will. And he's pain free, we're good. Like we're good. I mean, you're somehow having to have this stuff of like practice and not, but he's obviously been practicing. He's obviously been walking with Charlie. So truly, the biggest question is who's going to be his caddy now. You know,
Me.
like,
hey boys, I'm going to Bahamas tomorrow.
but I'm just saying, like, I think that like that's what you want to see if you're going to put money into the next rendition of Tiger. Like, is a commitment back to the game so that they can sell. Like, we know that Nike's always about the money and in the way that is like as most companies are, you know, that kind of thing. But there's, you know, there has to be some sort of ROI on what Tiger brings for them. And that's it's kind of shitty sometimes too, because you can't just say it's been the last 25 years is your ROI. It's, well, what do you do for me lately? You know, and if he can say, hey, I'm going to play in 12 events, you're going to see me monthly. Monthly is big, like big
Dude.
to me, you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Your thoughts, Matt?
Man, it's really interesting, dude. I gotta say, and sorry guys, my son. The Hot Wheels track. He's running his own races. Look, he's had a rough couple days. We had a stomach
Can we
bug
come
running
over?
through, so I'm gonna give him some leeway.
If you guys have any Hot Wheel tracks out there, send us your pictures. Maybe
dude,
someone
no, but I think you nailed it, dude. I mean, look, unfortunately, it's not like the old days where they looked at each category as a business unit. So it's like, oh, cool, Nike Golf made money. Keep on doing what we're doing. And then, like, some like the big athletes, like, there's no way, like, tennis never made enough money to support Serena Williams' contract, right? But because she's such a halo athlete, right? Like, her aura, her personality is bigger than the game that she competed in. Like, they paid her, you know? And, you know, I think Tiger's one of those. You know, and especially if you hear like, hey, he's going to play 12 months, but maybe they both disagree on like what the future looks like, right? Like, yes, it's 12 starts next year, but what does the year 2, 3, 4, year 10, year 15, year 20 look like? And what are the terms, right? Because here's the other thing. Both parties might be willing, but at what price?
Right. And I think that's the thing is like you have to look at them like giving Kevin Durant a lifetime, and me like being around and watching some basketball here and there, but like to be quite honest, I haven't heard Kevin Durant's name this year in basketball on ESPN, like really at all. And I'm not saying that that's because he plays with the Suns and it's West Coast or anything like that. You're still hearing about LeBron, you hear about Tatum, you hear about Luka. Like, but I'm not hearing Kevin's name, and he just got lifetime. No matter what, Tiger makes one tweet, and he is second in the PGA like player thingy, You know, like he is the needle. So like if you could get him to make one tweet for Nike in behalf of golf, you might see golf sales triple in 1 month compared to like what they have been for a steady 2 years now, you know? And that's like the part that I'm like, you're not looking at this as like other things. They're looking at it solely as like basketball runs the world. Every other sport is, especially like the court sports is what they're calling them, or club sports, I should say. And I was like, but I agree. Like Serena's a Halo athlete, Tiger's a Halo athlete. You could have put other people up there tennis wise before they left, but Rafa is, you know what I mean? Like LeBron and Jordan obviously are, you know, so like they all stay on the same shelf.
Right.
Then that shelf should all be Nike, you know? That's all.
Yeah. Well, the thing with KD's though is like we don't know what the terms are, right? Like, does KD know? Like, did KD say, "Hey, you know what? I'm probably closer to the end than I am the beginning. I like my relationship." He's always seemed like a kind of low maintenance kind of dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, low resistance. Like, why not? Like, let's just sign that deal and get it done. You know, I don't know what goes into picking those things because, you know, if you ask most people in the sneaker world, signature basketball shoes are way down. They don't sell. They're too expensive. Everything's trying to, you know, to Nick, everything looks alike. That's Nick, by the way. I don't think they all look alike. I think they're all really cool, actually. I like the KDs this year. So, you know, but they put the money in that. So, yeah, I Keith, how do you feel? You're the biggest Tiger fan. We're all Tiger fans here. Like, you know, does it hurt hearing this stuff? Or does it like, man, you understand that it's a business? Like, where are we at? And again, we still don't know if those are Nikes or not.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know if those are Nikes or not. It's 50-50 up in the air, but being a big Tiger guy and big fan, and with contract talks and everything, it was huge to see him today, pictures with him wearing a front-facing swoosh on the hat. I think that's a kickstart in the right direction. Other things too, he's filmed with Bridgestone already that are going to air next year, and he's wearing swoosh all the way down to, you know, to the toe almost. We don't know what's in those videos or anything. Yep, tailor-made. Yep, the tailor-made shoots as well. He's got the swoosh on everywhere. It's tough. I think he is on that shelf of everybody else that we're talking about. He is the needle of golf for anything. That gray shirt that he's wearing today, I'm sure a couple more of those sold today. If not, they could be on for the Cyber Monday thing still on sale as well, or gone. But I think with Nike, I think he's always been with them. He loves them. They've always worked with him, and that's a plus. Like, they've never said no to him or leave him through his troubles. So I think he's in a good position. I feel like the relationship will continue. Nike is huge. They focus on a couple things: shoes, apparel, basketball, stuff like that. That's their driven category. Nike hockey left a long time ago. Hard goods, it wasn't making money. Same thing happened with Nike golf, weren't making money. Yes, I believe that our clothing, Nike golf clothing will always be around. We might not just get that Tiger line that much anymore, or like ever kind of thing, just because of this needs to be all planned out years in advance. You know, reps out there are out there showing summer and fall of next year's stuff already, because spring and summer stuff's already booked. So it just shows you that there needs to be a Tiger line in place 2 years in advance, 3 years in advance. And he doesn't know how much he's going to play. He could get hurt tomorrow in the Pro-Am, and anything. So it's tough. I will end it on a positive note. I'm glad he's back, because if he's not there, golf is nothing still. It really isn't. When Tiger Woods is playing golf, everybody's going to be watching this tournament starting on Thursday to Sunday. And we get to see him Sunday red on Sunday, no matter what.
Yeah,
same thing in a couple weeks after at the PNC, Sunday red. And there's nothing else better than that. So that's a positive. And he's swinging feels healthy. He's getting old. He looks jacked. So, and he's walking fine. You know, he's got aches and pains everywhere else, but he's walking fine. There's no pain in the fused foot. So I'll end it there. I'm glad he's back.
That shirt is still available on NBC, by the way. But it only Cyber Monday only applies to the Ember Glow Noble Red one. The red, black, and
gray nice one
do not apply for Cyber Monday.
I did wear that red one. I did wear that red one at Paynes Valley. You know, and that's another thing that speaks to Tiger's draw. Like, Tiger designed a course in the middle of Missouri. It's south of Branson, and man, when you go, like, what an experience. And just knowing that it's Tiger's course is amazing. And I just want to shout out Ellen Williamson-Schwarm, who said, looks good, and who cares what the shoe is as long as he can play. And I kind of echo that, like.
Yeah. Well, it was funny today watching Golf Channel and them talking about like those rounds and stuff and like where to watch. And I was like, yeah, I haven't watched golf in like a year, it feels like. Because like I don't know where to watch golf right now. Because I really haven't like watched a whole lot. Like, and if I watch, it's probably just on NBC or CBS like Sunday or Saturday afternoon coverage. But like, I don't know. I know there's like featured groups and everything like on Thursday and Friday that I used to watch religiously when I was Tiger, but now like he hasn't played for a while. And it's been a while, and so I'm like, oh wow, we have to get back into the coverage conversation. Which look, we could have the same conversation about coverage on NBC and CBS and them cutting cameras and all that stuff the same way that Nike has cut back on some of their sports and stuff like that, because for them it's meeting a bottom dollar. And if they think that like golf may be in the biggest spot possible, but like who do they get rid of? Azinger, right? Like but then they also said that they're not doing drones anymore, they're not doing extra cameras, like all this stuff. Like coverage of golf is going to be not great probably this year because they're cutting back on stuff. And I think that's where like we want to somehow go a show with not bringing up Liv, too bad. Like, because I think that's where like sometimes like Liv is at the mercy that they don't care how much they spend on a product, because if they feel that's what's going to give them an upper hand against PGA Tour, that's what they'll do. And at some point in time, there is going to be a discussion that needs to be had, and maybe it's with Tiger on the player advisory board and stuff like that, about coverage and how you get like people to watch, because it's going to come down to it real soon that like these events are unwatchable because the coverage is poor. And it's already there. Like if you follow along on golf Twitter and stuff enough, like you know how bad these coverages are. No laying up, foreplay, all that stuff. They all have it covered. Like no laying up the most, you know, like so it's just it's an interesting time to see like what happens. And like I said, maybe with Tiger being back, there's more revenue that comes in, there's more viewers, and then you can change your attitude. But maybe they've seen a decline because A, people would play more golf, and B, like he wasn't playing. Now he might be, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll definitely say it's a different vibe when he plays, and then level below that is if Brooks is not playing and Rory's not playing. Like I'll tune in, I'll catch Tommy and I'll catch Tony when I can, but it's not like must-see TV if those three are there, and especially if Tiger's there. Like I'm not going to miss any shots that Tiger takes. Like it's different even at this age. Like there's a mystery and an intrigue, right? Like the guys come. I'll never bet against Tiger Woods. The guys come back from so much.
Yeah. He'll definitely be the oldest to ever win a tournament. Like, I think he'll win at 50 because he doesn't look 50. He doesn't look 48. Like, not that he's 48. Yeah, he's 47 right now, but he's 48 on December 31st. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just he doesn't look it, doesn't seem it. Like, it's almost impossible to believe it, you know? So,
But yeah, I do think you're gonna see less coverage in a lot of sports, and not just in golf. Like I think that's just something like, look, advertisers are pulling back; they don't have the money to spend. Consumers are pulling back; they don't have the money to spend. Inflation and all this stuff, and on top of that, like look, I know this is supposed to be everybody's like escape. We try not to bring the real world into this. The real world sucks right now. The real world does. And it's like, we're so lucky that we get to sit here on a podcast for 35 minutes and talk about whether or not Tiger Woods is going to wear a Nike shoe or not. Like, super fortunate. Yeah. Like, we Seriously. Recognize that. But I think you also see from like a consumer standpoint, like, I loaded up on shoes the last 2 years. The world's on fire. Probably not in a hurry to like consume more golf or basketball or football. Football's religion in America, so it's kind of like insulated from all that. But
if the refs keep screwing everything up, you're going to see a revolt here real soon. So,
but it can't be as bad as Scott Foster in the NBA. That whole thing is just like, just don't let him ref any of Chris Paul's games. I don't get it. Like, just stop.
Yeah. Well, and even then, like, so we're talking back to golf. Like, they played it. I think since we recorded, they played an event at a Tiger course, and I still didn't even like tune in to like see like the course. But I've heard about this course since it was like one of his first courses he ever designed, the Amante, right? So it's like you've known about this course and heard about it and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know, I didn't even like tune in to see it because it's such like a like low level tier thing, and it was funny because I think Q School just happened, or however, like whoever, and like who's making the PGA Tour this year and who didn't, or stuff like that. And I was like, and the names on it are just like all the names that you know and none of the names that you don't. You know what I mean? No, sorry. Flip it, reverse it. None of the names you know and all the names that you don't that aren't making it.
I know what you're saying.
Because like Duffner's out, Jimmy Walker's out, like Zach Johnson, Ryder Cup captain, like, I mean, terrible Ryder Cup captain, but out, you know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things where like, and all these new young guns coming in, like there's still a real drive of young, like influence of talent that want to be on the PGA Tour too. And I think that's interesting, so we'll see. Let's
score these Masters TW13s.
Masters TW13. So they came out. If you got a pair, great. We had it slightly first. Dick's has since pulled them, but Dick's Sporting Goods had them on sale. And I don't know. I can't say we had it. We got it from someone. I just don't know who we got it from. I don't know if they want us telling who we got it from either. So I'm not going to even
friend of the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, but we know a couple people that got them, which is great, and then they're since pulled. But we also have a date for them. I believe it's December 8th. Is that correct? That I've been seeing. I don't know. Yeah, so we're not sure on that. Don't quote us, but that's what we've been seeing. So, but either way, they're out there. They're here. Cool. So let's score on TW13 Masters editions coming in December. Makes so much sense to me. So I'm just going to get it right off the bat. I love the TW13. I love these. I've always kind of wanted them. I don't know if I can afford them. They're another $10 more than what the TW13s when they re-released earlier this year came out at. So they're $250 retail price, but they're great. I wish the TW on the back was not red. I know it needs to be red, but I don't know if it fits. I know it does fit because there is like a little red, green, and like red, green, and yellow in the Masters stuff. But I think just go all green on that. So, but I'll give it a 4.1 from me because they just remind me of that time a couple 10 years ago when they came out the first time. It was, baby, those are so nice. Yeah, they were just like a grail. You couldn't get them. And I believe they had like a special box. I'm pretty sure they had the concept putter was at around the same time too. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
So, just I don't know, nostalgia base probably bumps that up a 3.3 points, but 4.1 for me.
During that 2013 year, everything was Masters colors: the putters, the Tiger shoes, and it's actually a nice Christmas gift to kind of get this released this Christmas. A good way to end this year of 10 years of TW13. It's awesome to end this as well as I think we were the creators of Why don't we do a retro shoe? Maybe a year ago we were talking about this. Why doesn't Nike do a retro shoe? Redo a Nike golf shoe. We get the T-Dub 13 this year. We get 4 sets of them, 4 different versions of it, a brand new one, and we get the Masters ones to close out the year. Yes, for the Masters version. Why didn't this come out in April, Gumby? Matt, what? But they did save the best for last because this was a hard to get awesome shoe when it was released. I'm going to grab a pair to complete the retro 4 pairs. Hoping they might stick around and maybe go on sale to grab another pair to wear. But I might even just wear this pair I get just to wear them a couple times, just to, got it. They'll go good with a couple scriptings around the Masters next year, right? I would think. So,
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go on a golf trip around beginning of April just so I can wear them.
Yeah,
and not in the mud up here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm right with you with that. But I would score them. I give them a 4.5. And I like them. I didn't get the original ones. That's the only pair I have not ever gotten Tiger-wise. I got a good amount of Tiger shoes hidden in the caves and stuff, but this is one I didn't originally get when it came out in 13. So 4.5. Matt, how you feeling about them? I know you got the
gray blue.
Yeah. Okay.
I do have the gray blue. So it's interesting because this just goes I'm sorry to be so negative. We've talked about the bad release. No, I don't want to say bad. I think they've missed the dates for appropriate colorways, not just for the Tiger, but for other shoes as well throughout the year. Again, Masters in December, we all kind of don't get it. I was at a 4.5. But then
I remember
my own scoring
earlier
rules.
in the year, you were high when you thought that these might be around.
I was going crazy.
We weren't sure. We were still are they coming? We weren't sure. And then when we got confirmation a little bit later, we were like, oh my goodness. And you were like, whoo, baby. I remember just seeing stars in your eyes, through the roof. There goes the rocket ship. And now it seems like you're going.
Because if I get it, we're still 4 months away from me being able to wear it. Why? Why would
that's most golf shoes for us.
And I get that they might be limited, but I wouldn't blame people if they sit and wait and hey, maybe these will go on sale by the time golf season rolls around. I just, I kind of said this about the 12s when all the good colorways came out in the fall. I'm like, what are y'all doing? We wasted our whole, even right now, the Eastside Golf 6 and the Olympic 6 coming out so late in the year, our season has passed, and there's something about wearing a shoe that's current for that year in the season, especially a seasonal sport like this. So I kind of want to I don't know if we're allowing this in the scoring. Can we docket points because of the timing of the release? I also have my own feeling
I added points because of the nostalgia, so you can dock it because of the release.
And then last thing is, I always say, if I wouldn't change anything, it should be a 5.0. Well, I kind of wouldn't change anything because it's a nostalgic colorway and they brought it back through the original. So congratulations, kudos to them on that. But it's not a 5.0 for me. It's still going to be a high score. I'm going to go 4.69 there.
I like it.
So
nice.
I love it.
I enjoy them. I think they're great. I love that this is still the green bottom. It's not just the green sole; it's a full green bottom. So, let us know if you guys are going to pick them up. Let us know if you got a pair. Give us some pictures. I know Ryan said he got one, but he hasn't been home yet to check it out. I'm really curious to see if he got those or the gray white because he got them from Dick's, and I'm just curious on what the heck they did. So, but we had someone else in our comments say that they got them and they got them already, and they were correct. So I'm assuming that they will be correct. But that happened to me with Dick's in the next percents in the blue and pinks. Remember, I got they got canceled on me. And then I got the wrong size. It was just a whole fiasco. And now I could get those for $30, and I'm just super pissed about it, so. But yeah, so my other black pair of shoes, they just don't fit that well. So now my one black pair of shoes to wear when I wear black pants are my TW13s.
Perfect.
So pretty happy about
Oh,
that.
I'm clean every time.
Let's do some housekeeping stuff as we keep this a little bit shorter today. Hey, remember when we
Keith's
talked
pick.
about?
Are we doing Keith? You want Keith's pick now, or do you want the housekeeping?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, we're gonna do Keith's pick.
Okay, so cool. So Keith's pick, Tiger, inside the top 10 or outside the top 10? We're gonna go to Gumby first.
Field of 20.
Yes.
Field of 20. Man, I think I drank the Kool-Aid this morning watching Golf Channel because I haven't watched Golf Channel in a long time. So, and of course, they're all on there just hyping it up. And he looked the best, sounded the best that he's looked since the accident. I say top 10. I say 10, but top 10. So, but I mean, there's a lot of good players, but they also haven't played. Who I think he beats out Tony this week. I think he might beat out someone maybe like a Max, or a JT. I'm intrigued to see them playing together.
So he don't care.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
That's the latest rumor. Ramen Homo, 600, 500 mil.
I would never see Max go there. He just doesn't fit.
Just take the money.
He doesn't fit his personality though.
Roast people on Twitter the rest of your life. It'd be amazing.
I know it'd be pretty funny. So I have him 10 out of 20.
Oh, you're going right on the dot 10. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. I'm going top 5.
Whoa.
I'll take it one step farther. Top 5. Get him in some Nike shoes.
He's even money. Top 10. Betting wise, but he's 2,200 plus 2,200 to win. So,
wow.
Just for your
betting. What about finish dead last? What's the number on 20th? What's the number on 20th? I'm not going that route.
Money as well.
I'm never going to underestimate. Oh my God, this is rough, boys. This is rough. Never underestimate
You've been through a lot.
Underestimate.
Yeah. Never underestimate the heart of a champion, Rudy Tomjanovich.
Right. I'm going top 10 or above. I have to.
I like it.
Can't ever. He's T-Dub. He's been swinging with Charlie. He's not gonna fool me in his press conference or anything like that. So he's not gonna fool me. Top 10. That's what I got.
It'd be wild if he just comes back and wins. And the hype train was it.
If Keith's on the bag, I'm going win. I'll go win.
I mean, it's got to be Robbie Mack, right?
I'm available.
Robbie Mack's gonna be on the bag this whole time, right? Well, they said Charlie's caddying for him at Hero, but then I thought they said that, and then
really,
and then I think it's Robbie. But then he made a joke today in his presser that that Charlie can't skip school that many times, so it won't be Charlie this year or something like that. So. But maybe I saw that. I don't know who it's going to be. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow, I guess. Pro-Am. There was nobody on the range with him other than Robbie Mack, so I don't know. But
right,
I don't know.
Okay. I got to bring this up. I'm sorry. I missed the opportunity, but I can't hold this in. Do you guys not find it odd though that he doesn't at least rock the TW13 when he does these the classes? Or just the speaking events on a range?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
just
glad
a
you
range.
brought this up. Yeah.
What does that tell you guys about the situation? Am I reading too much into it? Or is that another layer to this?
It's another layer.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever really rocked them though. I feel like we could go back and look at stuff from Tiger Jam back in the day. I feel like he was always, I don't know, just rocking something weird. He loves his Metcons. He loves his what were they, the joyrides?
Joyrides. Yeah, I got a couple pairs just because of him.
He loves just that kind of stuff. So I think it's just dude, if Tiger could wear combat boots and cargo pants on the golf course, he would. You know what I mean? He would have it laced up to his knee, if he could. I just so. I don't know. It's just he's just the cat, man.
Tough.
He's wild.
It's weird that he isn't at least wearing them range sessions or anything like that, or just walking, like it can't be that bad for him to walk in that. That shoe is so comfortable, the 13. You know, it's just.
I just think like he's not going to do a range session because he's not going to be
wearing them.
He probably takes every time that he can hit a ball as a way to use it to like practice. And so even at clinics or something like that, he's going to be in what he feels he needs to be in during a game. You know, like it's just, I mean, he can feel the difference of like 0.25 grams or something. I don't know, that's probably a lot of grams, but you know what I mean? Like you can feel the difference of like a feather on his club than not. Like one more wrap under the thing. Can you guys feel one more wrap, half a wrap, the wraps at all underneath your grips? You know, like.
Yeah.
All right, funny story. I'm not going to name who this is, but there was, and it's not my brother, but there was this club builder at one of the retailers around here. I'm not going to name the retailer. But he said anytime somebody asked him for like something weird, like 3 wraps under the right hand and 2 wraps under the left, he would legit look up the guy's handicap on the CDGA. And if the guy was a single digit, he would do it. If the guy was double digit, he just put a wrap on.
Exactly. It's just, you know, but I would absolutely believe that he would. So, all right. Now the housekeeping. Let's wrap this bad boy up on our, mid show. We might come back. We might do like a season recap. We got to hit 60 episodes. We're going to hit 60 episodes in 2023, which is phenomenal. We thank you so much, our listeners. And if you are supporting us by listening, you can also support us by becoming a supporter, which, that's a lot of times to say support. Feel like a bra here. So remember, become a supporter of the podcast by going to podcasters at spotify.com/show/assist. That was the worst joke I've ever made in my life. Oh my God.
It was good though.
Jesus, this is late. We're not even recording that late. It's just been a while. So, hey, but remember, we promised this giveaway forever, the 1,500 giveaway. So once we hit 1,500 followers, guess what? We did it. Thank you. So stay tuned. This week, we will be giving away that print from Nomad of the TW13. So how do you like that? Keith, I think you have a little special announcement, a little holiday lovely announcement here.
Yeah, so everybody out there, we're trying to get something going here, again, to support the podcast. Trying to get some hats out there. I know we've always talked about apparel, polos, stuff like that. We got stickers out too. We actually have another batch of stickers. They're right behind me if anybody's watching on YouTube. These will be included, no extra charge, in these hats that we're going to release. These hats are going to be like a trucker style hat with our signature circle logo on there. So we're going to have a couple options. So if you guys are watching on YouTube right now, Swoosh Hats, official Swoosh Hats. Patches are on their way, but we're going to have something special going on like that. A little bit smaller logo, but it's going to be a patch logo just like that. So these will hopefully be in and done for presents for Santa to bring underneath the Christmas tree before the 25th of
the
December.
Patch Trucker coming at you guys, which is pretty exciting. That is our biggest goal in the new year, with support from you guys, is to get some merch going. We've heard it from you guys a bunch, and so hopefully we can figure it out. But sometimes life gets in the way, and that has been, truthfully, for most of us, working our actual jobs and just doing this late at night on a Tuesday or a Monday. It's been all that we can afford time for. So one day, maybe. But right now, when we get it, we get it. So there we go. Appreciate you guys. This has been a fun one. Get it out there. Any final words as Big Cat is back? Back at the Hero World Championship down in the Bahamas, starting on Thursday. So if you're listening to this tomorrow on Wednesday, when I somehow cut it together sometime in the morning, maybe. I got to figure it out. Maybe I got to stay up tonight. I don't know. But last words.
T-Dub, welcome back. Can't believe you're back again. I'm glad we're back again redoing this. And I'm glad we got some Tiger Talk in this time around. And hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Boys, it's good to be back as well.
Hey, this is a no-cut event, right? 4 days of Tiger Woods. Welcome to the freaking show, everybody.
It's the best days.
Indeed.
4 days.
A little bit of sunlight on these dreary winter days. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for always Yeah. Thanks for always chiming in, sending us messages, all that good stuff. Keep them coming. We love the conspiracy theories. We love to, as you guys notice, I love shouting you guys out, and just be aware if you send us something in the DM or on the Instagram story, we will read it because we know that people listen and we want your voices to be heard. So it's been a stupendous year. This is not the last one this year. We'll do a recap for sure. Maybe Nikeopoly someday. Maybe January.
If I can get my shiz together.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. The holidays are rough. So again, thank you everybody. Really, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
I don't know what my things get. Can anyone hear this?
Not yet.
Also.
Oh.
That was Nick. Nick saying he loves that. There you go.
Oh wait. Oh, you were gonna do that one.
Play the first one.
I was doing the nice one.
Play the first one. Closing words from Nick.
The first one is too long.
Here's
I don't know if it has any swear words in it, so we'll hold off on that one. But
wait, we swear? We swear all the time.
No, we swear. We barely swear. I put non-explicit on our podcast there. So, but
I did not look at the soul, and that's because just by looking at them, I would never.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Oh, geez. We're getting in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble. If you stayed this long, great. If you haven't, well, you're missing out on the fun, and you missed out on my terrible joke. So, until the next time.
And I still can't talk, so that's the same stuff going on.
And Matt, and I'm Gumby. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at the Swoosh Life Podcast to stay up to date on all things swoosh. And if you have any questions, comments, or business inquiries, please email us at theswooshLifePodcast@gmail.com. And lastly, give us a follow or review and become a supporter of the podcast at anchor.fm/theswooshlife/support. Thank you all for listening. See you in the next one.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like, yeah, that's what we like, yeah.